on the Southwest network of Radio Nigeria. The time is 2 o'clock.
Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of The World Today for the week. It is a Southwest Network program for Radio Nigeria, Ibadan zonal station comprising news and feature. In the lineup, Federal High Court opens registries for pre-election cases. Police deploy over 2,000 personnel for Ogun Festival. On the foreign scene, Israel intensifies attacks on southern Lebanon. Fire claims 16 students in Kenya. Heart of the Matter is on checking the menace of child abuse. My name is Emilia Ujimudi and I'm reading with
Olushola Akinropo. You can also listen to us live stream www.radionigeriaibadan.gov.ng or watch us live on Facebook at Premier FM 93.5. As we celebrate Eid al-Kabir, let's extend love to the less privileged. Now the news in detail. The Federal High Court has directed that registries across its divisions operate on weekends and public holidays for the filing of pre-election matters ahead of the 2027 general election. The notice is contained in a statement signed by the Chief Registrar of the Court, Mr. Yahaya Shafa. According to the statement, the decision was taken in view of the constitutional and statutory timelines for the filing and determination of pre-election cases. The statement notifies all legal practitioners that registries in all divisions of the Federal High Court would be open between 10 o'clock in the morning and 10 o'clock in the afternoon and 2 o'clock in the afternoon on weekends and public holidays for filing of pre-election matters to meet up with the limited time frame for filing pre-election matters. It adds that political parties across the country have intensified preparations for the 2027 elections, with several parties already conducting primaries for governorship, national and state assemblies positions.
The Federal Capital Territory Administration (FCTA) has dismissed efforts claiming that a court order stopped sitting on environmental services and food safety enforcement in the territory. The FCTA Public Health Department issued the statement through its legal officer at the Health and Human Services Secretariat, Mr. Idris Suleiman. The department described the circulating court order as false and completely misinterpreted. It explains that the order was granted by Justice Yusuf Halilu of the FCT High Court. According to the department, the suit filed by a pharmacist against the FCTA Health and Human Services Secretariat and 6 others only restrained further sittings in matters involving the applicant. It urged residents and business owners to disregard claims suggesting a blanket suspension of environmental health enforcement and food safety court sitting in the FCT.
The African Democratic Congress ADC presidential candidate Alhaji Atiku Abubakar has formally received the party's flag as its presidential flag bearer for the 2027 general election. The presentation took place in Abuja following the nationwide collation of the party's presidential primary election results. The national chairman of the party, Senator David Mock, handed over the flag to the former vice president and called on all the aspirants to work together, describing them as eminently qualified to lead the country. In his acceptance speech, Alhaji Abubakar called on other contestants to close ranks and work for the progress of the party. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar polled 1,846,370 votes to defeat his closest rival, former Rivers State Governor Mr. Rotimi Amechi, who polled 504,117 votes.
The Olubadan of Ibadan land, Oba Rashidi Ladoja, has declared that there is nothing wrong with politicians seeking elective positions in 2027, using his name to promote themselves. Oba Ladoja, who made this known while fielding questions from newsmen at his private residence in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, described all politicians and residents of the state as his sons and daughters. The monarch said politicians have the right to associate with him and leverage his name to promote their political ambitions. Oba Ladoja, a one-time senator and former governor of the state, however, noted that using his name alone could not guarantee electoral victory, but there are antecedents and contributions to the grassroots. The Olubadan urged all the aspirants and candidates to focus more on service delivery and programs that would have direct impact on the lives of the people, stressing that voters in Oyo State would prioritize competence and credibility over mere affiliations.
President Bola Tinubu has commended the philanthropic gesture of the renowned legal luminary Wole Olanipekun for donating mother and child maternity complex to the people of Ikere Ekiti. President Tinubu, in his goodwill message, described the gesture as another landmark contribution to humanity and community development. The president congratulated the senior advocate of Nigeria on an outstanding and impactful intervention in the health sector. He noted that the maternity complex represents a continuation of Chief Olanipekun long-standing philanthropic legacy, which has positively transformed lives across different sectors over several decades.
President Bola Tinubu has given an assurance that the abducted pupils will not be abandoned in captivity. In a statement by his special advisor on information and strategy, Mr. Bayo Ononuga, the president reiterated his commitment to the safe return of the abducted pupils and teachers of Community Grammar School and two other schools in Esniele in Orire local government area of Oyo State. According to the president, no stone would be left unturned in a bid to secure the release of the victims. He directed security agencies to beef up security around primary and secondary schools nationwide. The president said the reinvigorated security measures around vulnerable schools should include updated school vulnerability mapping, stronger coordination between state government and security commands, rapid response links between schools and local security units, and enhanced community-based early warning systems.
Some children in Oko, Surulere local government area of Oyo State have appealed to government at all levels to intensify efforts towards securing the release of the 47 students and teachers from nursery, primary and secondary schools in Orire local government area who were abducted on the 15th of this month. They made the plea while speaking with our correspondent Amos Ogorede in Oko. His reports.
Speaking on the significance of this year's Children's Day celebration, Daniel Ogeyemi, Israel Olawale, and Omolola Adesanya described the occasion as one overshadowed by sadness and uncertainty due to the continued captivity of some of their peers. They urged the government to use this year's Children's Day as an opportunity to decisively address the security challenges, ensure the immediate rescue of the abducted children, and reassured Nigerians that the country is capable of overcoming insecurity.
Government should please protect we children. We cannot no longer stay in school with peace of mind.
I want government to put the security in our school.
Also speaking on the day, Mubarak Gafaru and Jonathan Adeyemi said he had not been able to go to school due to rumors of bandit attacks on schools and pleaded with the government to urgently address that the country is capable of overcoming insecurity.
Government should please protect we children. We cannot no longer stay in school with peace of mind.
I want government to put the security in our school.
Also speaking on the day, Mubarak Gafaru and Jonathan Adeyemi said he had not been able to go to school in the past week due to rumors of bandit attacks on schools and pleaded with the government to urgently address the situation.
Last week, I left my bag in the class because of bandit attack. We are pleading the government to help release our colleagues that were kidnapped in Orire local government is taking too much of time.
Government should please rescue our abducted colleagues. Government should also declare free education in our schools.
The children who describe themselves as leaders of tomorrow implore the government at all levels to declare free education from the elementary stage to the secondary level. They noted that their parents and guardians were struggling to send them to school so that they will not become a burden in the future. May 27 of every year is set aside as Children's Day to campaign against child labor, abuse, malnutrition, and lack of access to education. Children's Day also highlights the fundamental rights, welfare, and voices of the younger generation. From Oko in Surulere local government area of Oyo State, I am Amos Ogunridi.
The Ogun State government has unveiled a new multi-agency security initiative aimed at strengthening the protection of schools across the state against emerging threats. Governor Dapo Abiodun disclosed this while hosting the League of Imams and Alfas at his Iberu residence in celebration of this year's Eid al-Kabir. The governor said the move became necessary following recent security concerns in neighboring states, stressing that his administration would not wait for any unfortunate incident before taking action. Prince Abiodun explained that the security arrangement would involve conventional security agencies alongside local outfits such as the So Safe Corps, Amotekun Corps, hunters and vigilante groups to safeguard schools across Ogun State. He added that traditional rulers, religious leaders and law enforcement agencies would also collaborate to ensure effective monitoring and coordination around schools. The governor announced that stipends would be provided to support the operation, noting that implementation of the initiative would commence immediately.
The Speaker of the Ogun State House of Assembly, Mr. Oludaisi Olemide, has urged Muslim faithful to continue to uphold the virtues of tolerance, compassion, peaceful coexistence, and unwavering faith. Mr. Olemide, in a goodwill message issued by his media aide, Mr. Kunle Idowu in Abeokuta, the state capital, the occasion of this year's Eid al-Kabir celebration, described the festival as a season of sacrifice, obedience, love, and total submission to the will of Almighty Allah, as exemplified by Prophet Ibrahim. The speaker congratulated the Muslim Ummah on witnessing another Eid al-Kabir celebration and called on them to use the spiritual significance of the festival to pray for the peace, unity and prosperity of Ogun State and the country at large. According to him, the lessons of Eid al-Kabir should inspire Nigerians, especially political leaders and citizens, to make sacrifices that would promote collective development and improve the well-being of the people. He encouraged privileged individuals and well-meaning Nigerians to extend support to the less privileged during the festive season, noting that acts of kindness and charity would help strengthen social bonds within communities.
Still on that, most fun sports in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, witnessed a low turnout of fun seekers, as only a few people were seen enjoying themselves in continuation of the Eid al-Kabir celebration. A visit by a Radio Nigeria correspondent to the popular ShopRite Mall in the Ring Road area of Ibadan showed a few children and their parents having fun at the amusement park section of the mall. One of the amusement park operators, who simply identified himself as Richie, lamented the poor turnout of fun seekers, despite the fact that customers who visited were given gifts.
Attendance was very, very poor. The attendance last year is better than the attendance this year. We have the rides for them. We even have free gifts that we give to them.
The story, however, was different for the manager of another amusement park in the mall, Ayolua Adeleke, who said he was satisfied with the turnout at his stand. Radio Nigeria also observed that some toy vendors were seated around the mall making brisk businesses. The situation was not different at the Coco Mall in Dube and Iris Mall at Akbata, as few fun seekers were seen moving around either shopping or enjoying the facilities on offer. Some of the children who spoke appreciated their parents for bringing them to the mall to relax and have some fun.
Come for Salah celebrate. We thank God for this Salah. We pray for God we should stay another year.
I'm very happy. Thank you, Mommy and Daddy, for bringing me here. I enjoy my
I enjoyed myself today. Thank you, Mommy.
Indeed, that's an excited child. Well, a parent, Mrs. Adishewa Farinde, thanked God for witnessing another Eid al-Kabir celebration, noting that she decided to bring her children out to relax before resumption of school tomorrow.
Okay, we are here today just for the children to have fun since it's festive period. And though they will resume tomorrow, at least they'll still have the memory that, okay, during the festive period, they're able to go out and catch fun.
Other parents who did not want their names mentioned appealed to government at all levels to strengthen security across the country as schools resume tomorrow. The popular Ventura Mall along Poli Road, Songo, Ibadan, also witnessed a low turnout of fun seekers. One of them who visited the mall, Ms. Aishat Lawal, said she decided to celebrate because Eid al-Kabir comes once a year, but added that the low turnout might be due to the high cost of living and insecurity.
The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACOM, has announced strict measures on food safety and launched investigations into 4 operators accused of exploiting pilgrims. The commission said the move aligns with ongoing enforcement of Saudi Arabia's health and food safety regulations for the Hajj period, especially in response to prevailing weather conditions. In a statement, NACOM disclosed that several meals for dinner were rejected yesterday for failing to meet required handling and packaging standards. The rejection was carried out in collaboration with Saudi health authorities. The commission added that affected pilgrims were immediately provided with alternative light refreshment to avoid disruption. NACON also said its board members had briefed state managers on the situation, while the chairman, Ambassador Ismail Yusuf, directed the security committee to investigate the caterers involved and others linked to the contract. The commission further stated that arrangements were underway to ensure prompt refunds for pilgrims affected by the rejected meals.
The Ogun State Police Command has deployed more than 2,500 officers and personnel across Ijebu-Ode and adjoining communities as part of comprehensive security measures for the 2026 Ojude Oba Festival scheduled for tomorrow. The command said the massive deployment was aimed at ensuring a peaceful, safe and hitch-free celebration during the annual cultural festival, which attracts thousands of visitors, dignitaries and tourists from across Nigeria and beyond. In a statement issued by the spokesperson of the command, Mr. Oluseyi Babaseyi, the security personnel were drawn from various tactical and conventional units, including the Police Mobile Force, Special Weapons and Tactics SWAT Team, Violent Crime Response Unit, Anti-Kidnapping Unit, Monitoring Unit, Force Intelligence Department and other specialized operational squads. He explained that the deployment also includes armored personnel carriers, patrol vehicles, police motorcycles, surveillance teams, undercover operatives, and rapid response units stationed at strategic locations. According to him, security operatives have been positioned around the Ojude Oba Pavilion, major highways, entry and exit points, hotels, worship centers, recreational facilities, motor parks, markets, and residential areas expected to experience heavy human and vehicular movement during the celebration.
The Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) has taken steps aimed at protecting small operators from unfair competitions to enhance the telecommunications ecosystem. To this end, the Commission has released a draft business rules for mobile virtual network operators and called for feedback from operators on the development. According to the Commission, the suggested framework is aimed at preventing larger mobile network operators from employing pricing strategies or operational delays to hinder small operators and virtual network providers within the sector. The NCC called upon industry participants and interested entities to provide feedback on the draft rules on the 29th of next month in accordance with its stakeholders' engagement process. The Commission also announced a public consultation forum scheduled for July 9 this year, during which stakeholders' input and suggestions will be evaluated and integrated before the final implementation of the framework.
Well, if you have just joined us, you are listening to The World Today, and here are the stories that made the headlines. Federal High Court has opened registries for pre-election cases. Police have deployed over 2,000 personnel for Ogun Festival, and still to come, Israel intensifies attacks on southern Lebanon, and fire claims 16 students in Kenya. We'll be back shortly. To stay with us.
Glad to know that you are still there listening to The World Today. Lebanese health authorities say at least 16 people have been killed and 58 wounded in Israeli attack in southern Lebanon as Israel intensifies its assault and issues mass displacement orders across the region. Reports say 6 of the victims, who belonged to the same family, were killed in an Israeli drone strike while trying to flee at dawn along the Athlone Highway, a key route linking Sidon and Tyre. The attack came as Israel expanded its bombardment across southern Lebanon, hitting residential areas, roads and civilian infrastructure. The Lebanese army said one of its soldiers was killed in an Israeli strike in the Nabatea area, the latest in a string of attacks targeting military personnel.
Still on the foreign scene, police say at least 16 students have died when a fire ripped through a dormitory at a girls' school in a town in central Kenya. Education Minister Julius Ogamba said 79 were injured after the fire broke out overnight at the Utumishi Girls' School in Gilgil, Nakuru County. A senior police commander, Masood Mwenyi, told newsmen at the school that officers were combing areas around the facility for students who may have fled when the fire broke out. Report says Kenya has a long history of school fires, with more than 60 cases of arson in public secondary schools recorded in 2018.
In today's Heart of the Matter, Fumilola Obagbayegun of our Current Affairs Unit writes on checking the menace of child abuse.
Child abuse remains one of the greatest social problems affecting children and the society. It is the cruel treatment of children through physical violence, neglect, emotional torture, sexual exploitation, and denial of basic needs such as education, healthcare, and parental care. Across many communities, countless children suffer silently from abuse in homes, schools, workplaces, and even on the streets. One major cause of child abuse is poverty. Many parents who struggle financially often neglect their children or force them into child labor to support family income. In some cases, children are sent out to hawk goods on busy roads where they face danger, exploitation, and harassment. Ignorance and lack of proper parenting skills also contribute greatly to the problem. Some parents believe that excessive punishment is the best way to train a child, not realizing that violence can cause deep emotional and psychological harm. Another factor encouraging child abuse is the breakdown of moral values in the society. Cases of sexual abuse, child trafficking, and domestic violence continue to rise because some individuals place selfish interests above human dignity. The effects of child abuse are devastating. Abused children often suffer from fear, depression, low self-esteem, poor academic performance, and emotional trauma. Some of them become aggressive, withdrawn, or unable to trust others. In severe cases, child abuse can lead to permanent injuries, mental illness, or even deaths. A society that fails to protect its children risks producing troubled adults and an unstable future generation, as this growing menace demands urgent attention from parents, teachers, governments, and the society at large. Peer pressure, drug abuse, and exposure to violent media content can also influence abusive behavior among adults and older youths. Therefore, to check the menace of child abuse, every member of the society have a role to play. Parents should provide love, care, and proper guidance for their children. Governments should enforce strict laws against child labor, trafficking, and domestic violence. Schools, religious organizations, and community leaders must educate people on children's rights and the dangers of abuse. Victims should also be encouraged to speak out and seek help without fear or shame. Child abuse is a serious threat to the well-being and future of children. Every child deserves protection. Every child deserves education, love, and the opportunity to grow in a safe environment. By promoting awareness, enforcing laws, and encouraging responsible parenting, society can greatly reduce the menace of child abuse and build a better future for coming generations.
That script on checking the menace of child abuse was written by Funmilola Obagbayegun of our Current Affairs Unit and read by Feyishara Owomoyela.
And with that, we've come to the end of the news on the world today from the stables of Radio Nigeria. But before we go, here again are the day's top stories. The Federal High Court has directed that registries across its divisions operate on weekends and public holidays for the filing of pre-election matters ahead of the 2027 general election. The Ogun State Police Command has deployed more than 2,500 officers and personnel across Ijebu-Ode and adjoining communities as part of comprehensive security measures for the 2026 Ojudoba festival scheduled for tomorrow. And on the foreign scene, we told you that Lebanese health authorities say they say at least 16 people have been killed and 58 wounded in Israeli attacks in southern Lebanon as Israel intensifies its assault and issues mass displacement orders across the region. Police say at least 16 students have died when a fire ripped through a dormitory at a girls' school in a town in central Kenya.
That's it in the world today. Join us tomorrow for a fresh edition of the program. Mudupe Toba edited. My name is Olushola Akinropo. And on behalf of my colleague,
Emilia Ojimudia, many thanks for having joined us.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.